Alright guys, I want to make a quick video for those of you that are scared to play on MTGO because the loops might take too long or you don't think you can get a kill. The loops do take a little while, but there are some tips and tricks that'll make it way easier. So to start, the first tip is go to your settings wheel right down here on the left, and you're going to want to, if this is checked, this enable animations, you're going to want to uncheck mark that. We're going to perform a basic Titan loop just to get familiar with some things. So I'll just get enough mana to get to a Titan here. Okay. Okay. And here you can see we can still perform the loop even if we use our Summoner's Pact. We'll just pact for a Titan. And we'll perform the basic line, which is Lotus Mirror Pool. And so let's focus on these two tabs for a second. You have the triggered abilities here and the stack here. I like to make these windows as small as possible. Often they'll start out this large or something. You want to make these just really small so that when they stack really long like this, you don't have to scroll down the wheel. And then I have them organized so that I have the triggered abilities right here and the stack right up here. So I know that like as I'm pressing on it, it's going up onto the stack. Another thing that I'm doing is instead of pressing OK for these untap triggers, which works, right? You can press OK and untaps it. For this next trigger, instead, I'm just going to press the 1 button and it's going to do OK. 1 is equal to OK. And so you're just going to press 1 and that'll make it a lot easier. Often you have to use this mana pool down here in the bottom corner to make things happen. So just be aware of that. Lotus, Echoing Deeps, Target Mirror Pool. The first thing that it'll ask you as you're getting those lands is which land do you want to copy, and you'll just need to be ready and press on the correct land. Okay. We'll go for our analyst. And each time I'm pressing 1 here and then untapping the land. Mute. Act. Go grab our analyst. Okay. We'll have Echoing Deeps. A lot of the time you'll just copy Lotus Field for ease of use, and Vesuva can copy whatever. I always stack my Lotus Field triggers first, and then my Simic Growth Chamber triggers, and then I just start down the line. I just spam this right here. Go all the way down the line. And here you can just press your mouse button as often as you want. One thing I do is I'll always yield to these Crumbling Vestige triggers and also the Urza Saga triggers. And that'll just make it faster as you loop. Okay. We'll clear the stack really fast. One thing you can do here is if you feel like you have enough mana, which I do, you can just right click and say always yield to these triggers and they will untap for you. Don't yield through your bounces or your sacrifice triggers. That is awkward. Yep. And let's get those out of the way. All right, we'll copy a Titan. First thing you want to do usually is you want to get your Shifting Woodland, and then you could use maybe a Handwear Battlements. Now it's awkward because we yielded through, so the Handwear Battlements is only going to untap once, but we're just trying to get a general idea. A lot of time this Handwear Battlements is what will take the longest time. Another tip here is if you don't want to press through Amulet triggers, you can bring out Spelunking onto the battlefield. Put a Forest out, and then we don't have Delirium. 1 second. Transmute for a goodness, why don't we have delirium? So when you need delirium, you're obviously going to want to sack Nurse's Cave, which is impossible given my circumstance. But oh no, we do have delirium. Okay, don't know how that. Oh wait, we got sorcery. Perfect. Okay, so then we will turn all lands, and now the thing that you can do is instead of putting everything onto the stack, since you have Spelunking out, you can just hold this 3 button, and it'll pause once it gets to the triggered abilities, so nothing's going to happen without your permission. So just have this copy something, and this will copy a Handweir, and you'll just hold 3, and everything will untap. And then you have this much smaller stack, which is extremely useful when you're low on time. Let's haste a Titan there. And go ahead and sacrifice some lands. When you move to combat, and let's pretend like this is lethal, if you're really in a pinch, what you're going to do is you're going to right-click here and attack with all creatures. And then you'll just press on these triggers, and you'll say always yield to them. And then in order to say no, the fastest way, you're just going to hold 4, and it'll yield through those triggers. When doing these loops, you generally want to go get Handweir, maybe get a Vesuva copying your original Handweir, or Echoing Deeps, return to graveyard and copy Handweir, because Handweir is always what takes the longest when performing these loops when you don't have a Valakut effect that's dealing damage to your opponents. Shifting Woodland is interesting. What you can do with Shifting Woodland is you can right click on it and save targets, right? And then you can have it always copy Aftermath Analyst when you're looping, which will save you some time as you're looping. Let's see. I believe that that's all I have to share on this. And yeah, that's what I've got for you guys. Remember, on single Amulet escape shift lines, make sure to just yield through your Amulet triggers. It'll go by a lot faster. Thanks for watching.